Slide 1. The content of the case between Dave and Karen. Dave is a bachelor who is ill and he lives alone in Sydney. However, he asks his sister to leave Oxford and stay with him and look after him because he was not fit enough to look after himself. So he came across an agreement with her that after his death, the entire property will be given to her. So she agreed on this and moved from England to Sydney to look after him. After several months, Dave sold his property and disinherited his sister as well. This situation made Karen sue for a breach of contract. So, Slide 2. When considering Australian laws, a similar situation has happened between Burke and Ripley as well. Here, Ripley asked his sister to come and help him. So Ripley sold all his properties and came to his brother's place, and the possession will be given to Ripley by his brother Ripley. So after 2 months, Ripley moved his brother from the will, which led a conflict, and that led to a case whether the contract was legally binding or not. However, after the case was called and the result was given by the court was that it was in favorable of Ripley because Ripley has committed herself within the time period an agreement where Ripley will give all the property to her. So there has been a breach of contract there as well. According to the next slide, the elderly couple has been influenced to sign a guarantee paper without proper knowledge of the business. So this elderly couple does not have any knowledge about the contract. In this case, the bank is aware that the couple is lacking knowledge in the information related to this agreement. The company of the sons, which the guarantee paper are already signed. In this case, the parents can file a case saying that they didn't know any information about the documents, the proper workings of the guarantee, and the nature of this agreement.
Hi, my name is Gurkirat Kaur. My student ID is 20173732. Here I am explaining the question number 3, which is about the Jane and Brad operate a business of pizza. Whenever there is a failure of the task that has been made related to a single party in a particular contract, then in that case there is a breach of contract that occur and influence the work. In this case, Brad and Jane owned a pizza business. But one day their oven got blown up and they needed another as soon as possible. They connected a wholesaler and asked her to provide them wooden fire oven. She committed that she will deliver them oven within 24 hours before the long weekend. But then, when Angie failed to do so as she went for a lunch and got drunk, she forgot about the commitment. Brad and Jane tried a lot to contact her, but she didn't answer and called back on Tuesday that she will deliver it soon, but as they didn't have oven for weekend, they had to close their business, and because of this, Brad and Jane had to face a big loss on that day. As per the Australian law and in regard with the reference case, it is clearly mentioned that when a party in a contract fails to perform a task related to the influence and the obligation to the contract and not been able to provide enough evidence for the working can be made related to the outcome, and he has been made related to the influence that has been made regarding to the proper work, then in that case breach of the contract happen, as here the case of Harley versus Bexland. Harley needed the crankshaft, and when he ordered it to be made, the company demanded the old broken crankshaft to be delivered. For delivery, Mr. Harley contacted Bexland and asked to deliver the crankshaft without even mention that his needed to be delivered on time, as if not happen on time that he had to face the loss. Unfortunately, Bextandel failed to deliver the crankshaft on time and Harley had to face loss, and Harley decided to sue Bexland. for loss, but as Baxland has no prior knowledge about this, he fought the case and the court announced the result in favor of Baxland. As per the cases that have been used as the citation and the reference that has been put to the working can be caused due to the Brit and Jan can report in the court in the situation as they have already emitted. The urgency of the situation to NG that has been made related to the understanding. In this case, for the better profit that they could have earned but failed due to the delay in the case of related to the outcome that has been caused in this work and that has been made related to the influence that has been made relevant to the better outlook, which shown there is certain appreciation that can be made for a better understanding of the situation and can make the reference to the court and that can affect the influence of the negligence that can be made for the proper breach of contract intentionally even after the understanding of the contract and its policies.
Hi, my name is Monica and I am presenting question number 4, which is a Gulliver case. So what happened is that for the annual holidays, Gulliver went on a bus tour. The tour was of 23 days and the first 11 days of his tour were fantastic and even beyond his expectation. But on the 12th day, what happened unfortunately is that the got crashed and Gulliver got injured in that accident. So tour was further can be continued on the replacement bus, but Gulliver couldn't continue as he was injured. So then Gulliver decided to sue the company and demanded a full refund. So the issue of this case can be considered as the issue of restitution and part performance and whether or not the Gulliver was entitled to full refund payment and from the tour company. So the issue is that whether he can be get his full refund or not. So this case has a similar scenario with the reference. This reference case for this scenario is as Baltic Shipping Dilo 1993 case, which is in this slide number 2. So what is the Baltic shipping case is that Mrs. Dillon contracted to was a passenger on the cruise ship which is operated by Baltic Shipping. So she was also on 14 days too. So what happened with her is that eight day of her tour was very good, and on the ninth day her ship sank. Her ship sank in the water. So Mrs. Dillon lost her belongings and got and has to suffer some injuries. So what she decided is that she decided to sue the company and recover the cost of the cruise and damages. So both case has similarities, but the difference is that the Gulliver was on the bus and the Dillon is on the ship. So both wanted to have their refund back, but the court what happened in the court is that the court held that the fare could not be recovered because there was not a total failure of consideration. What the court said is that the total failure, there wasn't a total failure because they enjoyed half of their tour and they enjoyed really well, so they couldn't get the total fare of the tour. But however, like they got injured and they lost their some personal belongings, so the damage for the disappointment and the distress could be covered. So they can be recovered by the company, like their damages as they got injured. And what the conclusion we got from the after the discussion is court is that refund only refund can be get only the amount of remaining days. So the days which are remaining behind, which they do not enjoy, that can be refunded by the company, and the days which they already spent, they didn't get refunded because they already enjoyed that days. Thank you.
Moving to the further slide, Rosella Ltd is an emporium that sells the electronic products. They decided to distribute the catalog, but there is a mistake in this regarding price of plasma TV. Due to misprinting, it was showing 200 instead of 2000. When Tom got the catalog and saw that plasma TV was available for such low price, then he decided to buy it as soon as possible. When he went to Rosella Ltd and asked for plasma television for 200, then assistant told him that it was a mistake in the print and the original price of the plasma television is 2000. Then on hearing this, Tom still insisted them to sell it on the catalog price, or otherwise he will take a legal action against the Rosella Ltd. The next case, the case that has been selected that shows the case law that has been taken as a reference to the situation is Janakis Pico versus Cutter Dog INS, which shows that there will be a proper reference that has to be made for the offer that has been selected as an invitation of the proper outlook uh, that has been considered in the advertisement that has been selected as a part of reference so as per the information that has been made available. Rosella has made the technical advertisement to consider the source that has been made as a reference for the selection of the invitation. The case to be filled the case to be filed due to the false representation of the fact as to increase the popularity and marketing of business. In this case, as well might Rosella be using a false strategy for the promotion of the cause that has been identified, and the major influence that has been created due to the promotion can be related to the work. In this case might be related to the information that has been selected to the proper understanding of the task, and that there will be a proper punishment.
My name is Gautam. My student ID is 20173496. Tort Law Case Studies. Jean was a regular customer of a supermarket. She was there this week and slipped on some grapes, which in turn resulted in her broken ankle. The manager did not have answer about how did the grapes come there. There was duty divided, and it was very clear that there will be a round of floor check in every 15 minutes in the fruit sections. Now, Jean has demanded the $1.3 million as the damage repair. It is clear that East and Four Corners supermarket has breached the and duty of care, but somehow Jean is also responsible for whatever happened. In defense of the supermarket, a point can raised that Jean did not pay attention in the supermarket while shopping. Also, they have taken some precautions to prevent such accidents. Part 2. Tort Law Case Studies. Question 2. Johnny regularly asked Len to clean his pool. While Johnny was at work and his grapes was locked, Len parked his van outside and started cleaning the pool. Due to sudden hailstorm, Len's van get damaged. Now Len demanded compensation of $2,500. Now the point is whether the duty of care was breached or not. According to the law, if the warning about hailstorm issued and still Johnny had not provided safety, that it can be brushed off contract. But as all this was sudden and Johnny had no idea when the hailstorm will happen, so no link can be drawn, so the duty of care was not breached. Now, slide 15, question number 3. Polly took lift from Sam to reach the home. Sam has driving license only for 2 weeks. When it started raining while going home, Sam was losing control. Polly even asked him to slow down, but he didn't listen. Now, after few times, Sam loses control and hits in the pole. Now, both Polly and Sam are injured, and damage done is $2 lakh. As Polly decided to show the Sam in sort of negligence, then she will only succeed. If Sam failed to proves his innocence, adds it was not done intentionally and was just an accident. Suddenly rain started. Sam can keep his point that it was not at all only his fault. Polly hadn't followed any safety rules like to wear seat belt. As also, she was regularly distracting him from driving with full focus.